So this, folks, is the Dragon Crusher, and we're on stand here. Obviously, we spoke about in the innovation trail the hybrid unit, but that's currently on testing. The guys have brought one of the units here, and they showed me this big space. Can you see my hand coming through here, guys? Big space. Guess what fits inside that space? Tell us what fits inside that space, folks.
So the hybrid system would normally be allocated here, and it has a direct drive onto the pump that gives it its extra power that way.
So what we're talking about, folks, is the product itself has been designed, field tested for quite some time now. So the product itself is absolutely bang on, and therefore what we've said is we're going to put in another hybrid system to this product to make it even better, reduce the carbon emissions, and give this space here, gives everybody, folks, a big boost when we need this output, and some heavy rocks are going in here. And also, like we mentioned before, if we travel down through a site and we want to take this through a site where you can't use diesel to passageway through, we can do that because we can work on the battery. It's a fantastic element to take a product like this, isn't it? And then to enable it to be hybrid, because you were so clever enough to leave that space in the first place. Isn't it fantastic?
Fantastic. That's what it's about. It went into development about 18 months ago, which allowed us to get a standard CR300 retrofitted with the hybrid system. It's been out in the field now for over 9 months being tested, and the feedback that we've been getting is phenomenal. Very, very impressed by what it can do. Its main driver is to reduce emissions. What it allows it to do is that where a larger engine would be normally required, you can use the boost side of the hybrid system to actually bring down those high peaks of load under control, utilising the boost system. So in effect, the Dragon hybrid part is classed as a boost system and not a hybrid total. So it wouldn't work completely on electrics all the time. It's there as a backup to the engine, which allows you to put a smaller engine, reducing your emissions.
Product itself is used to do a number of different tasks, isn't it, on site? And that boost function is required for some of those more laborious tasks, or the heavy tasks that the machine's got to do. So tell me the types of tasks that typically the equipment's used for, and when would we see that boost coming into play?
Okay, so typically the hybrid part of it, its main function is to boost the crushing element.
Right.
Okay, so whilst you're in crushing mode, because effectively there is actually two modes. There's tracking mode, which requires a lot less power, and then there is crushing mode, which uses the maximum power that the engine can give. And in certain circumstances, that maximum power the engine can give is just not enough. So whilst you're in the crushing mode, the boost element allows larger rocks, in this instance, because obviously it's a concrete crusher, rocks being generally the sort of common term used, that would normally require either a larger engine to deal with it, but that means that you've got a larger engine on the machine all the time when you don't need it.
Yep.
Okay, so in those high peak periods, the boost will cut in whilst it's crushing. But there is another element. If you need to actually move the equipment from one area to another area, but move it through either a built-up building or a building that you're not allowed to run engines, you can switch to all electric mode.
Oh, wow.
And actually track the machine on electric only for a duration of time, not forever. You know, obviously for the duration that the battery has got charged, through that area, out the other side, and then restart the engine and carry on crushing. And at that point, then the hybrid system recharges the battery because the engine is turned on and running and charging the battery.
So what we fundamentally got here is a new system, a hybrid system that's currently used in one of your crushers, out there really doing the job. It has been for about a year now. So we didn't bring it to the show because quite frankly it's had a beating out there, hasn't it? Been really tested and hardy tasks and challenges, which proves that the technology works. So now you're turning that technology to put it into the units that you've already got, and also taking it through the range, aren't you? So where will we see it next?
Potentially we can see it on the lifter and the dust suppression unit, which already exists, and any other new equipment that we develop going forward will always have a sideward look saying, okay, can the hybrid system be used in this product? We don't want to fit it on products that don't require it. That's just a waste. But so many times you have systems that require very high peak loadings, and when you have that scenario, the old answer was to put a big engine on it. Okay, so the new solution is to have a small engine, better CO2, better carbon footprint, and then boost the working environment with the hybrid parts. So.
And I guess you know, what we're seeing there is a real challenge to the industry to say, look, when we're looking at compact equipment like this, we do need to make sure that it can cope with all the challenges, but we do need to make sure that your customers can cope with the challenge of reducing emissions, getting towards net zero, and also helping us have sites that are more efficient when you're looking at them from a holistic perspective. And to go through a site on battery, folks, is obviously a great situation, so you're not tracking that machine all the way around a no-go area. You're able to do that with battery power and really be more productive on site and efficient. So great to talk to you today. Thanks very much for showing us all about Dragon. And don't worry, these guys, the Dragon might breathe fire, folks, but these guys are really reducing all the CO2 that you will see on site in the future, because they're being innovative and they're testing it on site to make it real world. And thanks very much for coming. Cheers.
Thank you very much.